Hello and welcome everyone to Cybercast Ep78, the Transformer video podcast. My name is Josh, also known as G1 Hextron, and I'm joined with my co-host Jaim, also known as Victory Saber 77. We got really good show lined up for you guys today. We have some news as far as upcoming movies in theaters, also some video game stuff, some information about the shows that we're running, kind of an open and rant. We got a great topic tonight, which was actually suggested by one of our viewers. And we also have the news, which we're going to start off with the Hasbro, then Takara, the Masterpiece as far as the Transformers go, get into the third party, and then the add-ons. So, James, why don't you go ahead and tell people where they can find you, man?
You can find me, Victory Saber 77, at Twitter and YouTube.
All right, and you can find me, G1 Hextron, on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. My Facebook page is the G1 Hextron. And I guess just kind of starting out, I mean, we got a lot of stuff that we want to cover here in the beginning before we get into the screen sharing and the Transformers. But as far as movie releases for this weekend, the only one that, when I say notable, I mean that I guess kind of a bigger movie or one that like Jaim and I we kind of saw the previews for and we liked it. So we're probably not going to bring up a lot of indie films ever, even though there's a lot of really good ones out there. But The Equalizer, Denzel Washington. I've seen the previews for that even whenever my dad came over. A couple of weeks ago, he was like, that looks good, and he mentioned something else with Jeremy Renner in it that's coming up that he thought was good, and also A Walk Among the Tombstones that we mentioned last week. So. Mm-hmm. Equalizer, I've still yet to go see Walk Among the Tombstones. I'm probably going, this week for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do that whole basically stay at the movies all day adventure. Like whenever I lived in Louisville, just right outside of Dallas, they had this dollar theater. On Tuesdays, they'd have 50-cent movies and then also like dollar like concession items and stuff like that. Dude, I'd like show up at like 12. And like leave at like 7 p.m. Like I just knock out like 3 movies, and they used to hit that theater like just 3 weeks after it had been released on the regular big screen. So it was awesome. It's the only way to go watch a movie now, considering that they're so expensive.
Yeah, and they're going to be out on Blu-ray within like a month. Seems like, anyways.
Yeah, I mean the turnaround for movies now. I remember back in the day where a movie would come out on big screen. And it'd stay there for a while, and then there'd be nothing about the movie. It would take like from when the movie was released into theater until it hit your VHS, because it wasn't DVD back then. It'd almost be like a year. Like you completely forgot about the movie. Oh yeah, I forgot I really liked that. So, all right, moving on to video game releases. Again, notable. You're really not going to hit the big, titles and a lot of big name video game releases until we get closer to we're almost in October, but November and December, some of the October stuff. But Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Now this is going to be released on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, so no 360 or PS3 love. So it looks like they're taking that step into, hey, we're just going to be doing these next-gen graphics. And there's been some Lord of the Ring games that have been good. I remember that was one of the, I think it was Battle for Middle-earth 2. That was like one of the first 360 games that I ever bought. And it was fun. It was one of those real-time strategy games where I got to like, I don't know, level 3, and then I couldn't figure out what to do. It was like, you got to build this, and I couldn't figure out how to build it. So
yeah, I love that game where you can have just a huge army that just rushes in to take on like the orcs and all that. Yeah. That was a fun game.
I remember whenever computers were not necessarily fresh, but kind of in the heydays where like everyone started getting them into their house, and they had a free game. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. It's called Warcraft, but it was 2. It was totally different from the World of Warcraft type thing. But I remember that it like for free you only got to play like the first like 2 or 3 levels or something like that, and so the armies were very minimal. And it was one of those things, as soon as you venture out, then, it kind of opened up that part of the map. I would build like 1,000 dudes to go I would spend hours just building 1,000 dudes to go take on their maybe 8. But I just wanted to feel that power.
Yeah.
Like my army was so awesome.
Yeah, same with Star Wars Rebellion. I remember back in the day. I love that. Um, just having a Star Wars based game, and you get to fly around in the galaxy, and you actually have your own like starships and all that type of stuff. That was fun too. And you could be
Oh,
on either side. You could be a rebel, or you could be on the Empire, which is cool.
so, well, I pick the Empire just because they have cool mask. Maybe that's why I like the toy and cartoon series mask so much. It's just the fact that you have a mask. I think it's cool. It's also why I like Cobra better than GI Joe. All right, but anyways, as far as that news, entertainment news, that's that. We do have a few shows. So the one that you're watching right now, Cybercast. This is our Transformer podcast. Obviously, been going for 78 episodes. If this is your first time watching, then you'll pretty much get the gist of it right here. But we go live every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, the other show that we have, which is an extension, is Jaim also has the Aftercast. So if you want to tell them about that, and then if you want to hit the eBay show as well.
Yeah. We have the Aftercast, which airs on my channel, Victory Saber 77, which airs every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is just a bunch of friends hanging out, talking about the collecting community, whether it's Transformers. We usually try and stick with Transformers, but we venture off into TV shows, movies, comic books, other, like Turtles, Mask, all that type of stuff. And check that out. And we also have an eBay show that is on Josh's channel, G1 Hexatrons, every other Thursday. So the next show will be actually October 9th, where we talk about eBay and just how to, giving guides on just how to purchase things, what to look for, and just really good tips. And this coming show, we're actually going to kind of build a combiner. We had a great suggestion as why don't we take a look at a combiner? So we're going to be looking at a combiner. Not sure, we haven't narrowed it down to which one just yet, but keep the suggestions coming. We really do appreciate it, and stay tuned for that, which is, I forgot the time, 10 o'clock.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Central Standard Time on G1 Hexatron's channel. So.
All right, and kind of had this opening rant. I put this on the Facebook page because this is something that I did this week amongst purchasing, a lot of other stuff. But Toys R Us, it's still going on right now. So until your Toys R Us closes, so for about another 3 hours, the sale's still going on. But Star Wars and Ninja Turtles. Something else that both of us collect, not just Transformers. And guys, I promise we're getting into the Transformers and all the robots later. But they had this sale going on, buy one, get one 40% off. And this is a trend that I've noticed for a while now, is I go in and I'm like, oh great, the sale, and I get the email and everything, because I guess I'm part of their email club, or I don't know what it is, but I get their email, and I show up, everything that they have, and because they'll be coming out with new stuff very very soon, we know that, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe this stuff is out, and it's basically empty pegs, the entire time, and then the sale goes off. That next week, sometimes just a couple days later, or the following week, all the new items come out, and I've noticed this time and time again. And I actually ran into my buddy that used to be a manager at Toys R Us, which was kind of my little contact there, where I just kind of give him a list of things that I'm looking for, and he'd call me or text me whenever they're, came in on the truck, so I know when to show up. And he even confirmed with me that they'll even sometimes get in those new items, and while the sale's going on, they will keep them in the back, not let you know about them, wait till the sale's over, and then put them out in stock. And I was like, well, if they're doing that, then what I'm going to do, and this is exactly what I did, I want there's 3 6-inch Star Wars figures that I want, that I hadn't pre-ordered or got in stock already. And there's as far as Star Wars goes, and then as far as Ninja Turtles, there's the 4 comic turtles, which were not there either. So I went ahead and bought these figures that I already own, just so whenever they come in stock, and I just keep them in my trunk, but whenever they come in stock, I'm just going to go exchange them. It's going to be an even exchange. I'm not getting any money back. I'm not giving them any additional money. But I'm basically getting that new stock for the sale price. and they don't do the whole what is it? What's it called? Like grandfathering in or something like that, to where, oh, we did have these on sale and they just came in stock, so we'll go ahead and price adjust that for you. And they're like, no, you missed out on the sale, then sorry. So that's what I did, and I put it on Facebook. I was like, do you think this is a good idea? Maybe you're already doing this. Do you think it's shady? I had people say all different types of stuff. Jaim, what do you think? Do you think it's smart? Do you think it's shady?
I think it's smart. I don't think it's shady just because what you found out that your Toys R Us does, I think, is shady. So, I mean, granted, if you're looking at it, if it is shady, two wrongs don't make a right. But I don't think it's shady. You're going to exchange it. They're not losing any money, and so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. If you're willing to put in the work, you went out there and you bought them, and now you have these products, and you can just turn around once they come in stock, exchange them. Yeah, that's not a big deal. I don't see that in their policy that you can't do that. You have every right to return something or exchange something. So.
Yeah, they're unopened. I had the receipt and everything. So, it's like I look at scalpers. I'm like, that seems worse than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just paying attention to the way, I guess, the business model is set up, and if you're keeping stuff out in the back that's brand new and not putting it out because it's on sale, then okay, then I'm going to do something to counteract that. So that's just kind of what I thought. You guys, let us know in the comments. Do you think that it's smart? Are you doing it already? Or you guys been like, dude, I've been doing this for 6 months. You're just now catching on. Do you think it's shady? Whatever the case may be, let us know. Do you have anything before we get into the Transformer news?
No, not really. We can just
No?
Get into the news and get into the robots.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, the first thing that I wanted to show off, because this is something... Uh-oh, what happened? Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, my right earphone cut out. Oh, crap, man.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what the heck is going on here?
I see little G1 Hexatron.
Yeah, so, okay, now there it's back. Anyways, I'll try to ignore it and just listen really carefully in my left ear. But I've been working with a designer, friend of the show, Punk Wiley. He does some amazing work. I think he should really, put out a lot of his own art, because, he just kind of whipped this up, and there was a kind of rough sketch design. I was like, dude, I actually really like that. And then he's kind of, made some changes, and we got together today, and we made some more changes. But more than likely, this is what we're going to be doing for my G1 Hexatron shirts. And I'm going to put them up on Teespring, and I'm going to do a pre-order thing with it. There's that, and if we can do it at the same cost, now, this back here that you see white, you can see that there's 10 different colors in here. If I can do it for the same price, then I'm going to try to do this one where the back of the high chair is blue, and you can see some gray and some shading and stuff like that. So just something I wanted to, show off.
Cool.
All right, now as far as Transformer news, the Transformers Collectors Club, they have put it out on their website, the full 22-page comic spotlighting the Transformers subscription service 3.0, and this is free. So if you're into comics, you like to read comics or anything like that, then you might go check this out. Have you checked it out yet?
To be honest, I have not yet. I need to, because I really want to know a little bit more about Serpent Ore there. So, but yeah, definitely, it's cool that it's free. Really dig that. Nice little incentive to get you into buying the subscription and all that.
Yeah, that's the way that we've talked about many times before. If you just come out with a figure, there's no fiction behind it whatsoever, and you're just like, buy this figure, because more times than not, most people aren't going to get it. But if you have some type of fiction, whether it's a cartoon, a movie, a comic, or something kind of backing this character to where you can be like, man, that's an awesome character. Like, Jinrai. It's a G1 toy. Why someone that collects modern stuff or Chug stuff or Masterpiece stuff would go back and be like, look, I really wanted, a Super Jinrai, to where the only, his legs stick together. Or like, I think everyone kind of spreads him apart. I know I do, to make him look like he's, kind of in a stance a little bit better. But if you know the character and you watch Super Guy Master Force, you're like, man, I really want this figure because he's such an awesome character, one of the best in G1.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a good idea to kind of entice some people that maybe weren't going to jump on it to go ahead and be like, you know what, I really like these characters, buying them.
Yeah.
All right, the next thing. This is sad. All right, so these are. I think it was 60 or 80. I think they're $80 a piece. It's either 60 or 80. But guys, if you somehow wanted to convince your lady friend or your wife that, baby, I really want to see you as a Megatron or a Bumblebee.
Oh man.
Or an Optimus. Then here you go. One, I think this is crazy expensive. I look at this more as maybe it's supposed to be a Halloween costume. Yeah. Toys R Us has these. I think we showed these off like around this time last year. Forget what I was thinking what they were for. I thought they were for like role playing or something. Never mind.
Gosh. All right.
Yeah, they're sold out in Japan. Megatron does have the little cannon there, which I think is kind of funny, but man, I wouldn't even bring this up to you. Or I know we have some female viewers that watch the show as well. Like I think 30 or 35% of our viewers and followers are female. I don't even think this is something that they would even consider. I think.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, why those characters and not some of the female characters at least, like RC? Someone else. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Or even Starscream, since I see so many pictures when I was looking for cute Transformer pictures, there were so many Starscream making out with Jetfire and
yeah, I've seen those
Megatron and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know if this is cute. I think it's a little weird, but some of them were funny, so I saved them. All right. So the next figure up for the Transformers, subscription service 3.0, you're gonna have the G2 Starscream. Now, besides this mold being used probably about 268 times.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, I mean they made a G2 ramjet.
Yeah.
And such, and it's cool. I dig it. Granted, again, the mold it's on its last leg, I think. I mean, hopefully it comes in one piece. But, I mean, sure. Why not?
Yeah, it'll look good with the ramjet.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get rid of these. This is the last time I want to look at that Bumblebee costume. All right, so in one of the Takara Transformer magazines, see a couple of things that we've seen here before with the tailgate, the swerve, also the brainstorm. But if you look down there at the bottom, to the left of the cloud figures, little SD or super deformed Transformer figures. So you got Optimus, Megatron, Grimlock, Jazz, Scourge, looks like
Victory Leo.
Yeah, and then you have
Primal.
Primal, yeah.
Cool.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Does it indicate? Well, one, I can't read Japanese, but I don't see anywhere there where I see the logo for Kids Logic. So maybe it's just another extension of something that they're doing, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy the little Hasbro ones of the little 1-inch figures. Like I'm collecting those, just the G1 versions
Hmm.
that are. I think they're kind of cute, but hopefully they're like that, or maybe 2 inches. I just don't want them to be expensive. Well, I don't want anything to be expensive, but it just kind of works out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to pay the import cost of those
Oh
coming
yeah,
in.
you're gonna have to do
So,
that too.
yeah. Ooh, there we go.
Talk about it every week, but
Yeah.
why not? We pretty much learn something new every week. Just some scanned images here to where uh, you kind of see some of the different features down here, as far as so some of the little extra things that he can do. The stand, you see the little rockets there, the boosters and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and I think there's another picture. With the guns coming out, the different swords, the size comparisons, with the little Brain Master and stuff like that. So most of this we've seen already, but any new pictures or news on it, I definitely want to bring it to you guys.
Yeah. This is definitely. I mean, this is good. I like it. I mean, this is a masterpiece figure. This is what it's all about. But I'm gonna get really disappointed going back to the regular scheduled, releases if they're not gonna be up to par with like Star Saber, all the gimmicks and all that type of stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna get and gimmick-wise, and it's just like, man,
For 180 bucks or 170, 180 bucks.
yeah,
Yeah. I think that was it on that. Yeah. All right, now
yeah,
taking a look. Well, did I? No. Okay. I put that Star Saber in the wrong spot. My bad. We weren't supposed to get into Masterpiece yet. Maybe I'll just grab the. There we go. We'll just go ahead and do Masterpiece. Then we'll get into Takara, which this is all Takara anyway. Exhaust. Now, I've seen these feet done a couple of ways. I've seen this way, which this is the way that whenever we talked about Wheeljack before, we got them in hand, that we're worried about the, toughness of this joint and that it might start to wear out. This can actually come down and lay down on this bottom
awesome.
piece here. So I got Wheeljack in today. I haven't even opened them yet because he arrived when I was like 30 minutes into my nap. But excited to mess with them. This is something that we're both buying. And do you know? I saw that some people were mad that they're actually giving this guy his own masterpiece number, and they're not just calling it like MP20D or
Oh
something for Diaclone. Like they're really throwing a fit about it. He shouldn't have his own number. I'm like,
yeah,
why does that matter?
yeah.
I don't get why that's such a big deal anyway.
And it's Takara's thing. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I think it works. I mean, it's its own character. It's not like it's a repainted version of, let's say, Lambor, or well, I guess Tiger Tracks had the same. It was MP12, what, T?
Yeah, T, and
And
then
but
I forget the G2 one.
I don't know, or maybe it was a mistake on Takara's part. Who knows? But I don't really care about the numbering system. I'm just glad that we're actually getting the figure. That's really awesome.
You also notice down here that it says good flavor instead of Goodyear.
Hmm. Interesting.
Now I have no idea. That may be some Japanese company that I don't know of, but
Weird.
yeah. All right, getting into the Takara Cloud Roadbuster. Still keeping with the same name, but it's going to be the Cloud version.
Which is the what? Ironhide from Energon? I think is the color scheme. What it's based off of.
So I don't know really anything about Unicron Trilogy. I just know that Armada Starscream looks awesome.
Is in Japan, the Ironhide that was released here is actually called Roadbuster in Japan. since they never got a Roadbuster over there, and from G1 at least. So I think that's where they're coming up with this color scheme.
Well, then it makes perfect sense.
But I don't know if I'd pay $100 for that.
No, I would. I'm completely content with the $25 on the Hasbro version.
Yeah.
But there you go. And it doesn't even have all its stickers and stuff like that. Or maybe, I don't know if it comes with stickers or not. It doesn't show them displayed with any. I guess if they're trying to make it'd be nice for them to throw it in. It's not like the sticker sheet costs like $20 to make or anything like that. It'd be nice to throw it in there, but I'm kind of echoing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, but if they threw that in there and then but they wanted it to be like what it does. The original did not come with stickers on it. So if you want to keep it looking like original, then this is the way to do it. But for those that are like, you know what, I don't care, it looks cooler with stickers, then include them.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, you're paying $100 for it. All right, so the Takara Legends line, not the Legends like the little, Cliff Jumper, Bumblebee, and Cosmos and stuff like that, but the Takara Legends, where they're going to do Rat Trap, they're going to do that Optimus Primal, and some other things. I forget exactly what's all going to be in there. But they teased RC, Chromia, and Windblade.
Makes sense, because the Legends is their, in a way, Generations line, where these are our Generations figures, so it makes sense to have those in there.
So curious to see how those turn out.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with Takara, with their paint jobs being a little bit nicer. But still, I think Hasbro will do a fine job.
Yeah, I think it'll be totally fine. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that I hope they fix the face on Windblade, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Because I think the face looks good. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention, or they're not elaborating on it, but I've seen at least a dozen people say that hopefully they fix the face on Windblade. I'm just trying to figure out like what's wrong with it. Like do they just not like it? Because I think it's cool. I wish it would come with a second head. That way I can put it on Perceptor. But I think it's a cool little head. I don't know if there's maybe some like major paint issues with it. So if someone knows, let us know in the comments. Are we good on comments as well?
I don't see anything here, and on the video, I don't see anything.
Strange.
Yeah. We have people watching, I know, but I don't see any comments, though.
Oh, well. Hopefully that doesn't screw it up even more. I know that like everyone that comments during the live show for the past couple of weeks, they haven't been showing up on video form. So I haven't been able to read them or reply to you guys, but hopefully that's not the case. All right, so this is about to start coming out. You have the pin, so you had an Ultra Magnus Optimus Prime. You have the Black Convoyer Nemesis Prime. But there's a look at it in package.
It looks really nice.
And this is a licensed product, too. That's a really good-looking Optimus.
Yeah, it is.
I still don't want the pin thing. I mean, there's no desire to have the pin. And again, I think the ink cartridge is going to be really small, so you're going to have to replace those things. If you use, you're probably not even going to use it. So let's be honest, you're not going to use it. I'd even take the ink cartridge out just so I know it doesn't bust.
Yeah.
And like mess it up. Forget what they were priced at. Was this like 50 or 60 or something like that?
Yeah, it was an expensive pen.
But nice.
Yes. I do like that. That's a really nice, well-designed looking Optimus Prime.
All right, now getting into the Toy Stages, or toystages.com, their site is up and live now. I saw things ranging anywhere from $2 for like little floor pieces to $35 for like a full, large background, and I believe that came with the floor as well. At least it showed that in the picture. You can do a medium size where it was 25, and then you could purchase like a little small, for like DTOF size things. So just taking a look at some of those things. I think I'm echoing on your end. But this will be a large one. The huge background of the floor. I like that. That looks really cool.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Again, you need to have the room. Now, you could just put this on your shelves, and I think it would make it look better. But Jaim, you and I, and most of our viewers, I know that their collections are just so large that all you're doing is, it looks nice back there, but all we're doing is like stacking them like in a row.
Yeah.
We have so many. We can't really. Maybe you have one little area or one shelf that you set up, and you kind of do some kind of cool diorama thing here.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but yeah, like what you said, they're going to all be stacked next to each other in a line, and you're not going to even be able to see the background, fortunately. Oh, that's cool.
I like this one too. And here you have the background there for the box and stuff. Some Cybertron ones as well.
Wow.
And they also have Masters of the Universe, and they also had G.I. Joe.
That's
I like
cool.
that one too. So if you're interested in any of those, you can go check out that site.
They're going to throw in some Beast Wars, some jungle scenes, stuff like that.
They do have just kind of like regular jungle scenes, but they had like G.I. Joe stuff posed with it. Well, they also had a Ninja Turtle thing as well, where it was like rooftop.
Oh, cool.
But you can check it out there. Next thing, third party, Mastermind Creations. Is this Fell Saber, and it's supposed to be. I always forget the name. Is it Chain Claw or is that the bear? I think Chain Claw's the bear.
Yeah, Catilla or.
Yeah, Catilla.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. So basically, to represent, that G1 Pretender. You can see it's a little bit different from Tigress, which was their Rampage. It's not too bad. Now, the cool thing about this will actually combine with your Feral Rex. And what you're going to do is you're going to take Dive Bomb and just kind of leave him in his Talon mode, or Dive Bomb Talon, whatever you want to call him. And he just, the whole complete figure plugs on the back instead of just the wings. And this guy would take the place of his arm, just like you see right here. So you can put 6 figures together. I don't know why you would. I think it just makes him have more of a backpack with Talon being on the back as well, but whatever. I've yet to read any of the comics with this guy. I guess since I got all 5 of them, I should go ahead and read it.
Yeah, you might. What's going on?
All the new Generations figures that come with comics, I haven't read a single one of them either. It's something that I'm not really into comics. I used to when I was a kid. I used to be into the DC and Marvel comics, but I just like watching cartoons and stuff now. Anyways, Toy World. I believe this is Roar. Take a look at him. There's some nice gold chrome bits. I do like that. Of course, we couldn't get past one episode with at least one third-party Dinobot showing up. I mean, there's just so many of them.
I don't think we can get past it for at least, I'd say, second quarter of next year.
So. 2017 or something.
Yeah.
Now, I think it looks fine, but it's one of those things to where, especially whenever I look at this picture, it looks like a third-party product, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't look good or saying that it looks bad, but I look at this, I can definitely tell you that this looks like a third-party product. To where whenever I look at the fans' toys, where they're meant to be, but I'm like, well, that I could confuse with an officially licensed masterpiece. Where even though this isn't trying to be a masterpiece, totally get that, but the plastic, it just has that cheap look to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean here with it. Because I do think it looks nice and I like all the gold chrome, but it's just that color of the gray the way it is.
Yeah. See, I look at it and I see that it's a perfect chug figure, and I look at the plastic quality and I just look at the look of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's perfect for the chug line. Until I see the price and I'm like, whoa, no, I don't think so. It's a little too much for a chug figure.
Those aren't chug prices.
No.
Here he is with Toy World's Orion. And something that a lot more people can kind of scale up, Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. So I think we looked at all those, yeah. All right, I asked Punk Wiley if we looked at all these. It's basically the transformation of both modes of all the Make Toys or Maki Toys Quantron figs, and a combined mode. I asked him, I said, did we talk about this last week? 'Cause I don't remember, because, like, you talk about so many things and different weeks, and I can't remember. I can't keep up with it all. Plus, my Facebook page was messed up.
I thought we did.
I'll scan through them anyways here.
I swear the nose cone looks like he's made out of Legos. But, I mean, when I just look at him, I think Legos for some reason. But maybe it's just because I've been dealing with Legos with my son a lot. But I just think of Legos there. Looks good.
Yeah. You can take this back piece off here too, because that turns into a bow. They look nice together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with buying third-party combiners. Want to see what Hasbro does, and then we'll kind of see what kind of add-on kits come for those, and then we'll reassess that. But for now, I'd love to have this, but I'm not going to pay the money for it. There's just way too much masterpiece and exclusives and so many other things that we collect.
Yeah, I'm happy with the G1, for now. So I wouldn't mind taking a look at this later on, like what you said, once Hasbro's decided what they're releasing in their combiner war, line, whatever it is. But I'm happy with just having the G1. So
yeah.
It works. Not to say that this isn't a nice looking, Computron. Because it is, but
Someone also said, I was like, can you redo this in the colors for Tron as well? Because whenever I look at it, that's exactly what I think of. I don't think they're far off.
Yeah.
It would just transform, which would be a little weird.
I swear if it could come with like an extra added piece where it has a little that brainwave transfusion from Grimlock to Computron from the episode, that would be awesome. So Computron becomes smart. All that. Or if his chest opens up to show his calculations, probability.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sweet. He did that like all the time, especially when he's battling Abominus, his rival, and this is just their other like combiners and stuff like that. They're out. Now, another one of the reasons why I wanted to show that, the Warbatron, because remember they skipped, their scheduled Minosaur, that was going to be their second figure after Bruticus when they heard Make Toys was doing Computron. So I guess Computron was their third figure that they wanted to come out with, but they moved the dates so they can compete, which all good.
Yeah.
So that way people can get which one they want. I like options out there. But here's their version.
But isn't this like masterpiece scale though?
Yeah, it's a big figure.
Yeah.
And I also have another tab where there's comparisons between the two. Now, also with the Warbitron, with the 3 figures they've come out with so far, I believe there has been an issue. Majority, not every single one. Just because there's always that one person who's like, well, I haven't had any issues. Well, I mean, you're like one out of many. But majority has had like some type of issue with all 3 of the first figures. So I wonder if that's something, and they've been minor, but I wonder if that's something they're going to fix.
Yeah, maybe they rushed it a little too much. I don't know.
Yeah, because it looks like they're slowing down now because they were trying to do that whole exclusive thing or whatever. Big Bad Toy Store. This, if you want something that's closer to the overall look of what it looked like in G1, then here you go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look bad either.
No, I actually like this robot mode more than the Make Toys.
Yeah, and here's a comparison with the 2 of them. I don't know if the scale's correct. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you can see them 2 side by side. Yeah. Some more paint apps, or not? No, not the paint apps. Oh, I just saw this. I thought it was more, but I like the head better on this guy too.
Yeah, I like the hands on the Orbitron. Doesn't look like he has like little claw or mitts or something.
Yeah.
But still, they're they both look pretty good. I mean, each one's gonna have their own flaws to whoever's looking at them. So depends on what you're into.
And let's be honest, it's all about the Computron mode.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Because quite honestly, you're not gonna have these guys displayed in their individual robot modes. No way.
I think that's about it. Wow, man. All right, yeah. Let me. Okay, I see one comment there.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to check. I was like about to type in their test because I was like, is this thing working? Because usually by now we usually have about 40.
Steve Cass, too bad Sentinel didn't make it an official licensed 4-inch G1 line. Sentinel, yeah.
All right, now from Kotobukiya, you're going to have the little super deformed Megatron. So you had the Optimus here, and you came with the axe, pointing finger. What's the deal with the pointing finger? They're always doing that. They did that with the Super Robot Chigokin figures as well from Bandai. You get a little Optimus here. I think he looks pretty cool. Megatron looks like he's going to get 3 faces, and it looks like his Energon mace and maybe a gun or something. You got angry face, happy face, and sad face or something. I don't think I've ever seen Megatron with a sad face. But looks cool.
Yeah.
It's a ton of super deformed Optimus Primes, man.
Yeah.
They've worn that thing out too. All right, now from Bold Forms, this is going to be, I think it's Wildfire. Anyways, there he is in robot mode, and they were going for that more G1 look. Yeah, so that's what the car is going to be like. It's not going to be like some new looking Lambo like what Fans Project did. It's going to be more of that G1 look, but with articulation. Doesn't look too bad. We've also seen what Motormaster looks like already as well.
I'm just really wanting to see their end product. I want to see what Menasor is going to look like.
Oh, yeah. Because he said he wanted to, them being a fan of G1 and comics, that's the way that the direction they wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
But just with articulation. All right, so from Custom Robots, Jaim,
Wow.
Looks like it's coming through. We're gonna get our first custom robot figures. Now, they also said that
Huh.
I forget the exact words that they said, but they're looking at changing things up the way they do them or something like that, just because the way they have been doing them, it seems like it's very time consuming and it's not really cost effective. So they're probably going to change it up a little bit. But as far as the look, I don't think the design or anything is going to change really. But got great shot. There's also going to be 6-shot, and there's also going to be what's his name? You know who I'm talking about?
Ooh, Shadow Maru.
Yeah, Shadow Maru.
Oh, cool. Right on.
So you saw great shot or 6-shot. I'm gonna get this. I think it's cool. I mean, it is 6-shot, so
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, I'll probably get it because it is great shot. Not like there's a ton of great shot figures out there.
I mean, we like shots.
Yeah.
If shot is the end part of your name, then we like you. And we saw these in hand while we were at BotCon. Not these, but like I think they were calling the Wheeljack Jackie and Sunstorm, just Storm or something. I forget what their names were for them, but they're small. They're just a little bit bigger than an Action Master.
They look like they're the size of like a robot. What is the robot spirits figures?
Yeah, just head to toe. So these little wings here in the back are going to make them a little bit bigger, but
That's cool.
and those swords are cool with him too.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Another figure we're coming out with, a little closer to production, probably. Doing a metallic green, and whenever I looked at these figures, it was like actual paint on them. It's not just this would be green plastic. So there's some nice metallic paint and stuff like that, and that's the stuff they use. Hopefully that's not what they're talking about as far as it not being cost effective and time consuming, because I really do like that about the figures. But here you have Hound.
So these have the Rebel Tech joints. Little ball.
Yeah, they have the little ball things here, and down here. Now, hopefully they're not as bad as Rebel Techs. So totally different company.
I'll still give them a try just because of great shot. So doesn't matter.
Is that a Prowl's gun? It looks like Prowl's gun.
That's the gun he came with in his original G1. Same look.
KFC. I'm just gonna until you change it on. I'm just gonna call you KFC. Overslay, I believe is his name. It's basically Overkill. Final. Yeah, Overslay. And Haymaker. So there's those guys, or that guy. Versus Forge. Their little Godmaster or Power Master little fig.
Oh, is this the company that was doing the Jinrai?
Yeah. It looks like he'll go into your fans project versions and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
All right, so this is, I don't know if it's going to be necessarily Transformer news, but a new company, Play With This Too. This is going to be Astroblast. It's basically a group of ex-Hasbro employees have got together, and maybe you call it a third-party company or whatever, but they're kind of like, this is what we wanted to do, and you can kind of classify them as whatever you want to do. They said some people have told them that it reminds them of the Pretender shells, but these are just going to be, action figures that they're going to be making, and they want some feedback, so they have a Tumblr, which is play with this too, TOO, .tumblr.com. So if you wanted to let them know what you think, or make some changes, or ask them questions or something like that, but it's the first bit of info we got on that, so just want to make sure that brought it to you.
Would have been even cooler if it was a Pretender.
I think, give me that cool Pretender shell, and I want a robot inside there.
Yeah.
All right, so also from, I believe it was Warbitron, they're going to be coming out with this stand which will rotate and also have LED lights.
Okay. So it stands for your masterpiece figures?
I guess, or whenever you want to review, or just have a bunch of stands or something, I don't know. It's a neat little idea, because I know a lot of people that do reviews, they buy those little rotating stands or whatever.
Yeah. Give us the 360.
I'm just too old school, man. I turn it.
Yeah.
Wonder how much it's going to be. I mean, that would be that. I mean, that's really the deal maker or breaker there, considering that they already have these like mirror stands that just kind of rotate. I don't know how much those are, but it can't be much.
Yeah.
You got this that has a lot more detail. You put a lot more into it.
And it's going to raise your figure up that much more. That I'd have to readjust my shelf.
Your shelves.
To put like MP10 on it or something.
Yeah. Well, neat idea.
Yeah.
From Render Form, I don't know why you would do this, but because the whole purpose of getting these figures to me is the headmaster, because I like headmasters. But it's the new heads for Chrome Dome or Code, and also Smart Robin, what is Brainstorm. Give them more of that comic anime look. One, it looks a little too small for his body, just a little bit. But I mean, you're taking away the headmaster gimmick, which is the cool thing about it.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's like going back to seeing Hasbro do Nightbeat and all that. No.
So, I'm not interested. Maybe you guys are. So, came up, figured we'd share it with you guys, and if you want it, then you know where to go. So you can do the clear or the just straight yellow.
Yeah, that. I'm sorry, that's kind of, I don't know. I mean, a headmaster, and you're going to turn it into something that's not a headmaster anymore. That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you want to buy a target master, and then be like, well, let me ditch this cool little bitty target master guy, and let's just put a regular gun in this hand. I mean, you're using you're losing the thing with it.
Or it's just taking a transforming robot. I'm going to super glue his panels together so he doesn't transform anymore. He's just an action figure.
And you'd still have to take the head out for the transformation. Here they did it with Smart Robin.
It's a cool, if you're into that, but to me that defeats the purpose.
Now there's also a company that did just the faceplate for Smart Robin, which I thought that was fine because you didn't lose any of the transformation or anything with that.
Yeah.
This is just the head.
And what do you do with the headmaster?
I guess you just set them on your shelf or something, or you sell them on eBay.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. He's got different eyes and stuff like that, so I guess there's like a little thing that you can put in there. A little different translucent piece. couple other things. Looks like something to fit over your steel core.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm not a fan of them, of this stuff, but
The gray one looks pretty good. I kind of like that. I kind of dig the color. But again, I mean, I don't know. Oh, we got a red one. Cool.
yeah, you got a red one for that pre-order that came with Fans Project with the trailer. You got the little red dude, so I guess that's in case you want to put the red
So color
figure in
coordinated.
there. Yeah,
You know,
a little bit more.
so he can have different outfits.
Yeah.
That you can. Oh, I'm going to my friend's house. Oh wait, he's gonna have blue. I need red. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll just change out his helmet. Cool. Let's see if there's any new comments.
I mean, I'm really surprised because you usually have a ton by now, so there must be something wrong.
No, I see that 13 people are watching off the video here, but I don't see any comments at all.
There's someone put in their test. let's find out if it happens or not. All right, we'll go ahead and get into the topic. Hopefully, I didn't screw something up with the comments, but this was actually something that one of our viewers suggested, or something he asked, and I was like, that sounds like something we could actually discuss on Cybercast, so wanted to use it. Scott Simpson said, "What are your thoughts on 3D printing for missing parts or entire bots?" He also says, "I think this could lead to some very interesting and cool customs." I see positives and negatives with this across the board. I mean, especially since we got into doing that, the eBay buying show. Just because we know that whenever you do these, if you're making weapons for yourself, because you're like, look, I can make the full tilt little bitty gun for $2-3 versus going on eBay and buying the authentic one for like $50 or $60, whatever you can find it at. It's usually somewhere on that $50 price, and that's going to suit me just fine for my personal collection. Then I think that's you're good to go. Same way I look at knockoffs. Do you want to buy knockoffs, or maybe that's the only way that you can get the figure? Good to go again. But it's whenever you try to take that and sell it on eBay and pass it off as an authentic, and then you're trying to take advantage of people or trying to sucker people, and that's going to happen. It's already happening. I guess let's kind of cover the negatives with it, before we get into the positives. But Jaim, what do you think as far as the negatives with the 3D printing? Just for weapons or bots or anything else.
Well, like you mentioned, if you're not going to be honest on eBay, because I've seen full tilts gun. I've seen people make Fortress Maximus guns, since Brave Maximus didn't come with guns. A lot of people have made that, and also the God Sword and stuff. As long as they mention that it is a reproduction, I'm fine with it. I'd also look at cost. If I'm wanting to do this myself, I'd want to know how much it's going to cost me, and if it's willing to if I'm willing to do this. But I would totally be for it, because I know for me personally, having a lot of G1 stuff, I'm missing some weapons, some accessory pieces that it would be great just to hit up a website that can just design it, and it's pretty much on par with the original look. That would be awesome. Instead of having to go and try and hunt down something that's going to cost me 2-3 times what this figure's actually worth. But yeah.
And I mean, he also mentioned in there, as far as parts go, you look at your Shockwave with your battery cover. There's all types of little pieces. I mean, there's a lot of junk lots on eBay. To where they're, I don't even look at them. If you're broken or some type of thing, I really don't even look at it. It doesn't really matter what the price is. Um, but if you were able to replace some things like that, just kind of like, this is what I want, and then, you give them whatever, a month or two, and you finally get your thing, then I think that's fine. Again, as long as, if you ever plan on selling it, you let people know about it. Because there will be little tells, or if it was some like thing they made, whenever they do a 3D print, if they said that there's nothing that can be, that is trademarked that they can do. So they could just take your masterpiece Wheeljack and put it in there, and then just be like, all right, well, let's make 100 of these, let's go put them on eBay, and we're like, well, this is actually an officially licensed product, and you don't own the rights to this, so we're not going to do it. But if you're able, but if they did, they would have to put like some kind of marking on it.
Mm-hmm.
That way you could tell. What was the other thing? As far as, full bots, and kind of getting into, the positives, the 3D printing. I think that, it would be a huge benefit for collectors, just because accessories are getting outrageous as far as the price goes. Because so few of us hung onto those accessories or guns from our childhood. Even the dude that we looked at the last eBay show, where he had a boxed, completely white, beautiful looking condition Galaxy shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
No weapon.
Yeah.
And it went from, wow, this is just beautiful, whether it had the box or not. I mean, this is a great looking item, but no weapon, then, we're not even considering it, because he was asking, like, what was it, $800 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where if you had the weapon, then, and you had the box too, and it was good in condition, now we're talking. But maybe if you could do that little 3D printing thing, and then also, like we talked on San Diego Comic-Con episode, that Hasbro's starting to kind of pair up with some 3D printing. I forget what it was, some 3D printing company, where they're going to be making some of these accessories and things like that. I just hope that there's some indication on there whether this is, the originals are the originals, and this is actually a 3D printed thing. Where if it's just like a 3D, stamped on there or something like that somewhere on it, I'd like that.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, with Hasbro teaming up with that company, I mean, we haven't heard a lot from it for a while, but it would be nice to, not just with Transformers, but you could go into the realm of G.I. Joe, you could go into other properties, Star Wars, stuff like that, that if you're missing, or just want some,
all that stuff.
Just want some extra accessory pieces, just weapon stuff, that would be awesome. Even for vehicles, sky's the limit, I think, and I'm surprised there hasn't been a company out there that's decided to venture into that market. But again, like we stated, you have to have some type of mark on there, I think, is just to represent whether it's a reproduction or not. Regardless, if you have it in your eBay auction, you say reproduction, that person who buys it can turn around and sell it, and they're not going to maybe list it as a reproduction. They may just say it's a legit thing or something, or scuff it up so it looks like has some wear and tear on it.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be the thing is, let's say they put the little 3D like close to the bottom of the not where the handle is, but close to it and at the bottom of the gun, so it doesn't, you don't see that tacky looking stamp or anything, just sitting on the gun. You put it somewhere like that. Now, if you ever came across one that was kind of like scraped off, or it looked like it was sanded off, now I'm not even touching it, man.
Yeah.
Whether it was original or not, it looks like someone was trying to, rub off that reproduction, little stamp. You just have to have something like that with it. But as they, the people that try to sucker people or be deceiving, as they get find more ways to be deceiving, we also become more educated and smarter and find ways to identify it.
Yeah.
It'll definitely help out the eBay buying show. Dude, we could spend like several episodes just talking about weapons. And now, as far as making it easier for people, you and I, you the viewer, maybe you got some cool idea as far as I'd really like to make this robot or something like that, or anything really, any type of action figure, but you want to make your own character. He says that this would this open up the doors for some interesting, cool customs. I think there's a lot of talented people. Our fandom is so big, just in Transformers, not just toy collecting, but just Transformers, that I think that there's a lot of people out there that don't do art, they don't do comics, they're not a third party designer or anything like that. They could probably come out with some really cool things if it didn't have to cost them a whole bunch in the beginning to get it started.
Oh yeah, I would love to, not even in Transformers, like venture into like how cool it would be to have yourself made into a figure in like the Masters of the Universe Classics line, or into the DC universe as a superhero, or you can go in so many different directions. Or would it be even cooler to like, I want to design a new mask vehicle, take something that's modern, be able to integrate it and all that. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm not a very artistic person, but it'd be really cool to find a company that I can work with and do that. You send them pictures, or you can do stuff and they can make something happen. I would totally be behind that.
It's like Punk Wiley that doing the designs for the shirt. Well, real quick, we're like I mentioned to you, we're just now kind of talking about making a little G1 Hextron figure. It's basically the little baby 6-shot there, and making him a little 3-inch. So it's something that it's going to take a while, but the ideas are already kind of rolling in. But he's super talented. Like I couldn't do any of the designs on computer. I can do it on pencil and paper. I couldn't do any of that. But I kind of told him this is what I was thinking. He took that idea, added some more stuff, and did some designs, and and just kind of also made it his own as well. And I'm just like, that looks awesome. Then he changes it up, and I'm like, that looks even better. And I'm like, wow, I don't even know if any of these are my original ideas anymore, because everything he does it just turns to gold, in my opinion. But he doesn't have a comic, or anything like that. You don't see him at BotCon trying to sell his work, but he has talent. So I think this is something, with him, he could just be like, well, look, well, doing the 3D printing thing, and now I can make my own figures. And I think that there's tons of people in our fandom that could do stuff like that.
Oh yeah. We did get a comment from Steve Cass that 3D printing means more options for buyers, but he worries that the price is too high for the material quality, which is true. But if you look at 3D printing 5 years ago, it was horribly expensive and it was more commercialized. Now you can get it to more of a personal level, and you can get these personal 3D printers at, they're not cheap, but they're not as expensive as they used to be. And I think give it a couple more years with technology going the way it is, that it may not cost as much, but you never know. You never know what happens.
I mean, look at flat screen TVs. Remember, well, my little 32-inch. I think my 32-inch is a LCD Samsung, and 32 inches. The thing was like, I think it was like $1,600 or something like that when I bought it, and it's just 720p because that was like the best then. And it's still fine. I use it for gaming and stuff like that, and here in the office. But that was expensive. But then I thought that, man, I'm really getting a deal. A few years later, go buy a 50-inch plasma, for less than $1,000, and still good brand and everything like Samsung. So and now you can go and you can find 60-inch TVs for that price.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like they keep on getting cheaper and they keep on getting better. So now they're giving us LEDs, And at first when they came out with them, they were expensive, and now they've kind of come down on the price. 3D TVs, they're doing the same. You're going to see the same thing with the curve TVs or whatever. You're going to see the same thing with these 3D printers and, the cost of, doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way it works whenever it first comes out. The same thing, think of a car. Sticker or whatever you negotiate, whatever on the lot. As soon as you drive it off, bam, it's took like a $5,000 hit.
Yeah.
Just driving it off the lot, just saying that, yes, I bought this. It is officially used. It just went down $5,000. So it's one of those things, and then as years go on, it depreciates more and more. So it's one of those things to where, eventually down the line, we're going to find a better way of doing it, a cheaper way of doing it, and it'll be more beneficial to us.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I guess it's kind of because we were kind of short on news, and wanted to bring that topic up, kind of an alternate topic, or a second one. This was asked by Dalton. How has Hasbro's quality changed over the years? So I guess he's talking about from G1 to what we get now. Jaim, you want to tackle that one first? I guess as far as what we get in quality.
Sure. I mean, as far as like G1, I mean, we got, I think, great quality because I think it was made to last. You got the die cast, the rubber, the rubber tires and all that type of stuff. I mean, I could chuck that against a wall. We always joke with that, like, oh, we could chuck, a G1 across the wall, and usually, most likely, it's not going to break. It's going to dent the wall. But you look at stuff now, and I just recently picked up Roadbuster, Skybite, even Rat Trap and such. And I like those characters. I like the fact that we get more articulation, more posability with these figures, but I do see the quality issues are more of a hindrance than anything. I look at that. I took Roadbuster out of the box, and I'm like, this is fantastic. But then I see like there's paint, like residue from the other colors bleeding in and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is a $20 to $25 figure. I don't think that should happen. Rat Trap, I just feel like he's a great figure, but just really lightweight and like just, I don't know, he just feels kind of cheap in my hands at times. Skybite is just horrible. As far as in the robot mode, I think he's just nothing's supposed to snap in. It's just supposed to be there, and I'm just like, okay, but that could be just poor design, also. But some things are good as far as quality. I mean, like going back to the Springer, I think that was really awesome from the Generations line. But as far as going back to G1, we can't have die cast, we can't have rubber tires. I know that because of material costs and everything. It'd just be too much. But I just think that when you have on the manual where it says, "Do not worry if it pops off, it's meant to do that." You just pop it back on. I don't really like having to read that or see that. I mean, because we never had that back in the day. If it
it's
pops
not necessarily
off,
meant to. It should just say, if it does pop off, then don't worry, pop it back on there. But the whole "it's meant to," like, yeah, dude, this is part of the transformation. Rip the legs off, and
yeah, it's like if you use too much force and pop that, oh shoot, you just pop it back on, okay, type stuff. But I have seen a dip in quality, and it's not just in Transformers. It's in DC. It's in Marvel. Even Turtles at times. It's just the way the business is now. It's cutting costs. Where can we cut those costs here and there and make it as minute, but but we just have to do it. And sometimes it's okay. I can understand. Sometimes I'm like, what? Why? Why are you doing that? I'll pay that extra $1 or something, so you can finish the paint job on the figure, or maybe have a little bit more QC checks. But who knows?
Well, even you mentioned the Turtles. You look at the vintage and you look at today. Now they kept them still at the same price, which is pretty amazing, but the quality went down quite a bit. The number of accessories, excluding the turtle figures, but all the other characters, you went down on accessories. The detail put into them went down as well. The molding, the paint apps, they went down as well. And like you said, I get the cutting costs, but that's part of what made the turtles so awesome. Is they were just like, wow, everything about this guy is really cool. Where you would see the Rat King, which you look at the one for the Nick Turtles line, completely boring.
Yeah.
You can't even pose the thing. It's the legs pretty much stay in one area, and it's just this black rubbery plastic cape, or not cape, but whatever, trench coat or something.
Yeah, it's trench coat.
And that's it. It's just a black trench coat, and there's some little mummy wraps or whatever around his his face and his arms. But whenever you look at the original, I mean, he had patches of hair missing, some like crazy red bug eyes and stuff. It looks like he had rabies or something like that. There were like rats molded into him, some that weren't painted, and then some extra rats, like white rats glued onto him. He had centipedes, he had spider webs, spiders crawling across his back. All this put into the mold.
Yeah.
And which I mean, his accessory was a crossbow that launched a rat that had a mohawk. I mean, just some cool stuff that you were like, well, I mean, Rat King, he's not as cool as Slash or Metalhead or Wingnut, but he looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was something still that you wanted to get. Even going back to if you said, like, I'll pay that extra $1 to have like one more person like QC check this thing, like really QC check, not just be like, you said it's good, all right, well, I believe you.
Yeah.
Because look at all the Masters of the Universe figures, which some people will say, well, these are catered to children, not Masters of the Universe classics. Those say adult collector on it. We've got something here from Batman Beyond. Finally got that in. Only took 11, 12 days, but right there in the right corner it says adult collector. The packaging it came in, adult collector. So this is supposed to be adult collector, and that's the same thing as Masters of the Universe Classics, but people always get like the legs are assembled wrong, or they have they're on backwards, or
the shoulders. Yeah.
It's all messed up. I was like, look, one, there shouldn't have to be a double QC checker to the QC checker. Just he should do his job right the first time. But I mean, if that's what it takes to get things done right, then you'll pay a little bit extra. So I mean, we're getting out of the realm of Transformers here, but it goes back to that as well as far as G1. Something I see them cutting costs a lot of times, like where the inner thighs, they'll be like hollow.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be hollow. That doesn't really bother me that much. I just think that they're spending their money in the wrong places. Like with the Transformer Prime, those mech tech weapons, there was so much money that went into those little things. Where you had the light-up feature, it came with the battery, the little action feature. It's big, and I'm just like, I would have rather you just gave me a regular weapon or sword or something, and put that money into the figure, whether giving me stickers, whether you give me paint apps. I love seeing those stickers with Whirl and Roadbuster. That's probably just the thing that they did because these were originally Bandai things, or at least that's what I think. But because they didn't do it with Skybike, we didn't get stickers. But I really wish that they would at least be like, all right, here's some stickers. We can't really fit more another color as far as into the cost, but here's some stickers. They didn't cost us much.
Yeah, that was a nice nostalgic feel. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with that. I would, be fine without the comic book too for the deluxe size figures. If you could, put more into the actual figure. Some of the design work I'm not, I like or don't like, but I just think at times the QC is like just like it comes down to paint for me. It's like when I go out and I spend the money on a figure, I don't want to like open it up, and it's because I'm a collector. Now, if I was a kid, I wouldn't care. My son wouldn't care. He'd just be out there playing with it. He'd be playing with it outside in the dirt, whatever. But for
Very
me, I just like, come on, I'm gonna focus on that too, because I'm gonna look at it and I'm like, okay, all right, he has that spot, so I'm gonna put him on the shelf, and every time I look at, oh yeah, there's rope, oh man, that spot, damn, I always focus on that type of thing, and it's just, I can go back and return it to the store, but I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have to be able to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. Waste my time because, I got a crappy figure, but it is what it is, I guess. But
yeah, it's like, I don't know, best comparison that I can make. It's like going to a restaurant and the food and everyone else's comes out. Everyone's is right, yours is wrong, or someone else is wrong. Like, all right, well, let me go fix that with you. While everybody's eating, you're just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
They're
staring
at everybody. Yeah, they're done, and then here comes your food. I mean, you still got it, but
now they're waiting on you to finish up and hurry up, and you're like trying to. I won't enjoy it. Okay, I can't enjoy it. I gotta wolf it down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like wife says, "Well, I'm just gonna ride with them, and when you finish up here, we'll see you at the house. We'll leave you in the car."
Yeah.
Anything else? I mean, we can dive more into these topics on the Aftercast. I'm sure we will. If you guys are, interested in joining the Aftercast, make sure you message Victory Saber77 on his YouTube channel. Pretty simple to send him a message, or you can, tweet at him. I believe, is it Victory Saber7 on
7.
Twitter, or is it Twitter?
No, it's Victory Saber77.
So okay, on both.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to end it there, Jaim. I guess you already told people where they can find you, but
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. So
that's going to start at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, so here in about an hour and a half. If you want to find me on my social media outlets, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, I'm G1 Hexatron, all one word there. And if you want to find me on Facebook, it is the G1 Hexatron, all one word there. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you haven't checked out our eBay show, we have 2 episodes up. They're up in video form, so a lot of good information there. Kind of did episode 1 a different way than we did episode 2. So if you guys have suggestions on which one you kind of preferred, because the first episode we just kind of did a blind looking through things, and on the second one went ahead and like pulled some stuff and added it to watch list. That way we focused on that, and then we kind of focused on the building a figure from scratch. So that'll be pretty much it. Let us know what you kind of like as far as that goes. We'll see you on the Aftercast. Thanks for watching. Peace.
See you.